the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I'm wanting you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all.
What's going on, believers? Guys, happy Monday morning. I know it's not very happy for most people right now. Ethereum, I guessed wrong, by the way. Ethereum dipped down to 23.92. It looks like the blood's in the water, and it's going to continue dipping. There's a lot more dip on the dip on the dip on the dip. I was hoping that it would stabilize around 2,500, so I went ahead and bought back in, and it dipped down another $100. So I'm down $1,300 on my Ethereum right now. Oh well. I think obviously it's going to go back up, but I did think that the Chinese market, the Asian market, I did think that they were going to have a nice little run. I did think that we were going to have some sort of positive movement, and it just didn't happen. But the other thing is, and this is significant, I might add, and it's never investment advice. I'm always telling you kind of what I'm looking at, kind of what I'm thinking, where I'm going, and I'm going to show you one right now because I got it on my screen. And let me tell you, this is the buy opportunity for you. And it is ApeCoin right now. I said that around 11.18 right here was that support line, roughly $11. And it is down to 10.68. So if you want something that's going to have a massive move when this market changes, then you look no further than GOAT token. And by the way, when you go down here, and a lot of these transactions, this was 75 ETH right here, and you're seeing this gigantic buys. Some of these are just wrapped transactions that are going through like 1inch network or something like that to consolidate some of the transactions. But you can see here that there's a lot going on, and there are a lot of big time transactions driving this price move all the way down from a high of 27. Now, one of the important things to remember is when you're dealing with tokens like this and that consolidation period, especially in a bloody market, is that it tends to drag around this area, and you might see some more bottom coming out of this because it did not settle right there at 11. It started to come down, and the last level of support before it cascade even further is about 10.27. So it's holding the support right now. You can see big buys coming in. People are deciding that this is a good level of support, but make your own decision. Look at it. Decide for yourself what you think your risk tolerance is. But there is a significant opportunity right here to get in and make yourself a few bucks off of the ApeCoin over a longer period of time. Now, it could also just absolutely go sideways. And here we go, an 88 ETH buy and an 88 ETH sell. Like you can see here that this is just massive what's going on right now. So, this market is out of control. Another one last night, GOAT token. So I am told that GOAT token did not rug last night. And it is starting a slow bounce and climb back. So here's what happened. It turns out there are 3 developers on this project. One of the developers decided to sell his tokens and go home. So he sold off everything, started making posts about I was poor once, things like that. His name was Michael Laidley, I believe his name was. And he just decided that he had an opportunity. It was too good an opportunity to pass up. He was going to get rich, and that's what he did. And he is gone, and he wrecked everybody in that process. The GOAT token has a big announcement today. So they believe that this big announcement is going to bounce their token right back because they're partnering with someone who is a big-time NBA player. And let's face it, it's a $1.45 million market cap, even where it sits right now, with the support of the people who sold off last night to get out because they saw what was happening. Those guys are getting reassurances right now from the development team that they can put their money back in. There's no hack. There's no problem that's going on with it other than this guy sold off his entire bag, and he held a significant supply because he was one of the founders of this thing, and I guess gave himself, with an agreement between parties, a significant supply, and he used that significant supply to basically wreck his friends. And hey, man, it happens in crypto. So we'll see whether or not they do recover. Like, this is a long way down, which means they've got a long way up to go. So we're going to see whether or not they can recover. I'm told that they're very confident in their recovery. You can go into their Telegram right now. You can see that they have a lot of whales, by the way. So when I'm talking about this, I'm definitely out of my depth because I'm not a whale. I do have whale holdings in a couple of different projects, but really it's small cap. I'm not a whale. You know what I mean? I'm a whale when the product is small enough. So there's an opportunity here, maybe. Good morning, Ryan. Let me get through chat here a little bit. What's up, George? Geo, what's going on, man? That Volt dip was very delicious. Might need seconds. The dip on Volt right now is pretty significant. Good morning, Bleaves. The market looks like shit. Yes, it does, Neville. It has gone crazy. Ulysses, good morning. Seiko Hunt, good morning. Farm, what's going on? Juicy 143, good morning. And let's get into it. Believe ETH pump will pump when the 50-day moving average rises above the 200. Right now, it's in free fall, unfortunately. Yeah, that pretty much seems like the way that it's going right now. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of support on anything right now. I think the only tokens that are going to have big moves and significant moves are going to be the ones that have an announcement. So we're going to see whether or not there's a big move on Volt. Volt just announced that they're going to have, they're on the 18th centralized exchange, and that was Bitforex. Bitforex is having them listed effective today. So today is when trading starts. That was announced on the 5th. So that was the 18th when I made the announcement a couple days ago. So we'll see what we'll see if that gets a pump out of it, and we'll see if that gets everything moving back in the right direction for Volt. Long term, feel really good. This is not even an announcement that was coming. It was already announced. So now we're just kind of looking at it and saying, hey, by the way, this is happening, but there's big announcements, I'm told, that are coming this week, and it is going to be a giant week for Volt. So this is a great opportunity if you are interested in that dip, maybe to get yourself a little rocket ride. But I mean, we'll see. Like, this market has been bloody. This market has been brutal, and we're trading downward still. And you got your buy signals, by the way. The 4-hour buy signal came in. The 1-hour buy signal was in on Ethereum. And then right here, you got your signals, and then it just blew past and went red, and this continued to dip. So, significantly, people are taking advantage of the people without. Like, that's really what's happening. Like, we're not recreating the wheel here. This is a shakeout from people who are going to not. This is a shakeout for the assholes, I guess. Let's just put it that way and leave it there. I used to be able to change the hourly on this. I don't know why I can't right now. Oh, well. So the 4-hour still is going red. It'll come down here. We'll start to see some green, I'm sure, in a little bit. The U.S. market is about to wake up. So we'll see whether they make a move, they make a play or not. A couple of dollars here and there is probably not going to mean very much. The Dow, it's about 9:30, 8:30 that we'll see what the Dow is. But you can kind of go over to Morningstar, and you can see that it just looks kind of nasty right now. Then when you look at the markets around the world, then you can also see that every market right now is just feeling the pressure. The Chinese market was in green. That was a guess. Argentine market continues to be in green. Turkish market continues to be in green. Everything else is just a significant red right now. So you can pretty much predict that as the sun rises across each one of these little spectrums here, that the prices of stuff are just going to start to dip and go down. Because that is kind of the way it plays out. Malik, we really need some good news announcement on Volt. I'm still up, but I have lost about 60% from all-time high. Well, yeah, I mean, that's not money that we had. It's money. The money that we invested is the one that matters. We just try to convince ourselves that we're entitled to whatever that high is when we don't sell when we get there. So, but we also don't want to miss, one of the problems is we don't want to miss that big move. So if we don't want to miss that big move, then, we just kind of hold on and wait for that thing to go way up. And if it goes way up, then good for us. Darth presale ends today. It's a rebase token with 283,000%. Looks promising. Volt, Terrarium, and Cult, which is the best tokenomics, it's going to soar. That seems about right. I would say that Volt's going to have a massive run very shortly. I'm going to think that Terrarium is probably going to have a significant run as well. And I think there's a lot of them that are just gonna start running, and I don't think we can get around where this market is. I think we're just kind of trapped right now, and it's gonna have to bleed out, and it's gonna keep bleeding. What's going on, Bernie? What's up, Sakib? And yeah, this dip. This is the this is that moment. Remember, guys, we're in May, and May is generally a really good month for crypto. So that being said, these red things right here, like these are the moments to ape into stuff. Again, not financial advice. You got to do whatever it is that you feel good with doing, you're comfortable with doing. By the way, guys, hit that like button, smash that thing. Let's get some people in here. And let's have this conversation. What's up, Valley Boy? Everyone keeps saying Volt. I owe Volt plenty, but every project is suspect now. Yeah, it's not suspect. The locks, there's nothing really suspect about it when the market's bleeding the way that it is. And really, I think last night we learned that there's just a guy here. This market was, the market's bearing down. First, let me just say this, Charles. The market was bearing down, and then somebody sold 123 ETH at one point. Now, that's significant, but let's face it. There was a time when we were watching that happen nonstop with God damn it. What was it called? Saitama. There was a time when that's all we saw was Saitama. We saw significant buys, significant sales, significant buys, significant sales. So that's what's going to happen. So don't worry about it. Just understand that there's going to be some people who are just not there at the end, and they're not going to matter. What matters is, can the group and the collective as a whole eat up the dip, whatever dip is created? And here it was right here. 230, they sold a significant amount. 125 ETH was what they sold off. So that was a significant amount. Now, you don't want to see this. What you want to see is you want to see a lot of buys coming in the green, but this is not the market for it. So everybody is probably just feeling the pressure right now. We had an 18 ETH buy, and then you had 14, 10, 10, and 7 as sells. Then you have a couple of significant buys in the 6 range and the 5 range, but you have one sell. So you can see here that there is some effort to buy back these dips, but there's also people that are looking at it, taking profit, saying, it's time for me to just maybe stable a little bit, tether a little bit, just see what's going on in the market, because it's just been brutal. And when it gets like this, but what are you going to do? Yeah, you know what? I think we all kind of trusted the GOAT team, and we got wrecked by one of them. That's for absolute sure. This is the moment to buy blue chip tokens. Yeah, we could. Let's go look over here and see where we at on the blue chips. Like right now, ETH 23.97, BNB 330 right now on BNB. Terra Luna is at 59.60. Guys, this is one that's just gonna absolutely explode when it's time. We're gonna have to look at CoinGecko right now to check that out. All good, bro. I cashed all my crypto at the weekend, sold all the projects 2-3 weeks ago. I planned to buy back in, but this dip wasn't for me. There you go, man. And it keeps dipping like that. You're significantly getting a continued dip. But let's look at Terra. Terra, just 24 hours ago was at $67. It's down to 56 right now. And if you look at the 14-day, it was at $100. It was touching $100, and it's down to 59.60 right now. That's how much bear pressure there is in this market right now. And that's where the great buy opportunities come in. Like, you're really looking at an opportunity in a lot of different tokens. Now, when I say that, by the way, I am not telling you to buy Cardano. So I'm not telling you to buy anything. But if you ask me about Cardano, my answer is going to be no, because it doesn't have, it's got to do something. Avalanche would be a buy recommendation if I were a financial advisor. Like, I would be looking at that one saying, it was just over $80 a few days ago, 30 days ago, and it's at 49 right now. I mean, it's absolutely on sale. So these discount bargains are opportunities in the making, especially when you're dealing with those blockchains. Chrono, and guys, Crow, everybody tells me 27, 28, I'm buying Crow. Well, what are you doing now that it's 23 and a half? And also figure this, at 5.9 billion market cap, Crow is crypto.com. Like, it belongs in the top 10. Just because it is what it is. So it's got 3x to go just to get into that, almost 4x to go in order to get back into that in a bloody red market. So if there's if that thing makes a significant move, like we know it's going to, if it makes a significant move and it pushes its way up into the top 3 or 4, then you're looking at a 10 to 12x on your Crow holdings. So I would feel real good right now if I were invested deep in Crow. So, I mean, there's that. ApeCoin 1080. It's starting to push back up. Like, you're starting to see a little pushback up there, and you're starting to see a little pushback up on Axie Infinity too. So, and the Sandbox, you're up 1% on. Where's Decentraland? Decentraland is about dead evening right now. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot in Maker's up 5.4 cents in the last hour, and that's a DAO. So yeah, I don't know if there's any reason to worry about that one. That looks like an investment for DAI. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It looks like the metaverse might have a little mini pump going. Not sure it's going to sustain. Absolutely won't sustain. WAGMI. Do we have any green going upwards on a metaverse token? No. Still significantly red. Continues to bear down. The good thing is this is an opportunity to accumulate a little bit more to get yourself a running start on whatever's going to happen next. So, let's hope for something really good. My wallet is looking wrecked. Mine too. The way I figured it was, I knew something would happen, and at some point it's all going to go down. But the way I feel right now is I feel diversified. I have a lot of diversity in my portfolio, so I'm not really as worried like I was before, or like I've ever been before. ETH could continue to drop right now, and I'll just close my eyes and ignore it for the moment and just say, you know what, we'll see what happens. And I'll be fine with that, because I really feel like ETH is going to end up at 3,600, 3,700 by the end of this month. So I think we're going to make significant gains on it. It's just a matter of the waiting period right now. Let's look at what Hex is doing. Hex is trading at 15 cents. Hex has had a big sell-off too. But look at this. Hex was up at 20 cents for a little while, 19 cents, and significantly up for the last 30 days. I mean, you go back and you start to look at it, and it's significantly up in that 30-day period. While the rest of us have been kind of getting wrecked, Hex has been just continuing to moon. And Pulse Chain is right near. So definitely a good play there. SAPE, by the way, seems to be bucking the trend, and it seems to be. Now, by the way, SAPE had a big catastrophic sort of run downward from that all-time high up here. And you know what? It wasn't an all-time high. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't an all-time high. It was that bogus sort of run. And by the way, does anybody else feel like when I see these right here and I see that, then I know that there's going to be a big third run coming, but does anybody ever notice that there's a fake test pump that usually comes before that big run. So, maybe we're looking at market conditions are going to change. SAPE will be in the right place at the right time. They'll be in the right position, and then maybe they'll just go crazy from there. And I'm not telling you that it will, by the way. I'm just saying that, sometimes when you're watching these things, that's what you end up seeing, is something like that. Terra did not hold support at 20, by the way. So the amount of down on Terra, I don't think is going to be significant, but you have to recognize still that there's an opportunity right now for it to go down below to around, where we at here? Well, it's hitting right now on the support line. So that might, maybe it'll bounce back off of that. But I mean, it's when the whole market's not looking good, none of your crypto's looking good either, unless it has a big announcement. Like what we need right now is we need a significant announcement happening somewhere to give a crypto some opportunity to start moving. I think it's going to take 4 to 6 months for everything to go green again. I don't think it'll take that long. We'll have moments. I know the market's bleeding. I trusted Goat, Smiley, and the team. So did I. I mean, again, like I don't want to see. I never want to see something like this happening. What I want to see right now is some significant buyback, and I want to see some significant bullish sort of moves to try to recover a little bit of that. And that's really what I'm seeing right now. I did talk to the team this morning, and I talked to one of the team members this morning, and they were working on a strategy right now. I said very simply, what they need to do is just do what they said they were going to do. If they do that, they're fine. So if their entire plan was bullshit, then we'll know that in the next bunch of hours too. But if not, then they've got something big happening. They've got something good cooking, and the guy Michael Laidley, I think his name was Michael, no longer has access to anything, so he can't affect them anyway. They don't need to go to a version 2. They don't need to redo the contract. They don't need to do anything except maintain the support of the whales who have been there for a long period of time, and they're starting to feel comfortable. Maybe that's why the price is pumping just a little bit at a time. Any thoughts on XRP? XRP is, I mean, first of all, XRP is going to win. They're going to win their lawsuit. Obviously, XRP is going to win this lawsuit at this point, and when it does, then it's going to start to soar just a little bit. It's a 25 billion market cap. Probably, if it does what it's supposed to do, if it does what everybody thinks, and it becomes that gateway hub to credit card and crypto, if it's able to start to do what it's meant to do, and it makes itself that bridge, then it's worth $250 billion, and it's going to 10x from where it is right now, and XRP will be worth $5 per XRP instead of 50 cents per XRP. That's what I think. And we just need the government to get out of the way. Then we'll see a little pump. Then we'll see a drawback, and then maybe they'll start to announce some partnerships that they can then do. So we'll see. The big sale of Volt was Pablo Crow's wallet. His small wallet, he still holds 2 bigger wallets. All right. If you got information on that, then by all means send it over. I would be interested to see that. I don't know what his wallets are, so if it is, then email it over to me. The email down here is at the bottom. So if that's the one, then that would make me sad, but I'm not sure. Crypto family worldwide has come together to stop these rug pulls and scammers. Well, no, we haven't yet, but hopefully we will. Rude to me on the live stream. Goat was King's people. Yeah, they all of them are. Yeah, they absolutely are. Do I like Cult DAO? I like the Cult DAO partnership, but as far as Cult as a product right now, I don't think about it because I missed out on it. So, like, listen, when you see one of those runs like Cult got on, and you should recognize there was a significant run on the Cult DAO. There was a significant run, and the price spiked dramatically upwards. And you can see here that I put this channel together and said that it was going to continue doing this and heading down. And we did this like a while back. So, I just said that it's going to continue channeling like in this area. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's just making its downward trend again. And I don't know how much further down it's going to go, but I would say somewhere right in this 1400 range, because that's the support line, or that's the reasonable support line, right here. So I would think that it's probably heading down for a little bit. I don't see any reason for it to keep pumping like that. That pump kind of came out of nowhere, because they had a partnership, and the effect of that partnership is now done. They only have, you look at the number of holders, and you can tell, like, is this product going to keep pumping? We've got 14,332 holders. So the opportunity for it to keep pumping exists if it continues to add new holders. So the question is, will they be doing that? BTFA, by the way, because it was the weekend that it was, I didn't meet with Sway. We didn't have our pizza because, like it was Mother's Day weekend. He was with his mom, shit like that. So we're going to do that maybe next weekend. BTFA did not hold its support line. I think I saw some TA on this that said that 73.66 is the next line of support, right in this area right down here. So there's about 500 points away from the level of support so that it can bounce. If it does do that, then it'll probably move significantly back in the right direction, pending the results of the market. So CVC will do well. Yes. But some whales already sold after that dip. If you're talking about Volt, then yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what you have to do. So you have to take your profit when you have your profit available. I mean, it's silly not to. And, the whales will see that, and, they'll respond to it because that's what people do, man. It's, what's your money? Mine for making money in a bear market is just Ethereum. Like it's just going to be Ethereum. Like I didn't convert most of my stuff over, so I'm feeling it on the dip a little bit, but I don't really worry about the amount in my wallet. I worry about the amount that my wallet was recently, because I know that most of the tokens that I'm into are still supported big time and will continue to have those big pumps. So when the market corrects itself, everything that's in my wallet is going to go just parabolic and crazy. So I feel good about it. So I'm not really that worried. If it's crypto you trust, then hold you must. Good morning, Selmo. What's going on, man? Volt's moving up a wee bit, small victories. Yeah, but Volt's got to hold support. And, you still got to deal with, still a bright red market. People in America are waking up right now, realizing, oh shit, and they're taking their profit and they're going away for a little while. Like, here you go. Another 15 ETH sale, another 9 ETH sale. That's what you get. That's just what happens in these kind of markets. And you just wait for that next move to the upside. And, Bit4X is not moving the needle for Volt in the positive, because it doesn't have anything for that. Like, Volt's got too big a market cap at this point for that to happen. So now you just have to ride the bloodbath to get to where you want to go. Shib Vader. Yeah, where's Shib Vader now, by the way? A lot of people are watching this. I told you guys I'm on the sidelines for that. Still has 414 holders, and the market cap is down to 393. Maybe it'll bounce, maybe it'll do something, but what's the lock on the liquidity? Is it still like 20 days away? Because if that's the case, then you're just 20 days away from it wrecking. And I know nobody wants to hear that, and I'm the asshole if I say it, but that's what we do when we're getting janky with the Marvel properties, right? So it's got August 6th, so they've locked it for 90 days. It looks like they just locked it for an additional 90 days. It's 91.65%, and the holder wallets don't contain anything. They do have the ability to change some of this stuff, so I would be nervous about that. And here's the bubble map. You can look at this, and you can decide, because what you should see is just a bunch of dots. A clear, safe product has just a bunch of dots, right? There's your dead wallet right there. This is an important wallet. This is a deployer of some sort. I think the yellow ones are the deployer. I don't know for sure, so don't hold me to that. But yeah, it's dealing with the liquidity pool and stuff. So that's probably a deployer wallet. I'll check to be sure. But so it looks, I mean, this looks as fair as it can get. There's a few trades here and there of people swapping tokens from one wallet to another, but there's no clear line. I mean, it's about as clean as you would want it to be. So I hope I'm wrong about ShibVader, and I hope that they're here for the long haul. But I mean, still, it's a micro cap with 17 zeros. It's not going to be listed on any major exchanges, and that's just the truth of where it is. It's going to have to do a version 2. So the version 2 is probably coming in August, which is exactly what. Remember, this is exactly what Strange did. And I'm not saying that they are. But they were moving over to a version 2 just all of the sudden when the liquidity was unlocking, and then somebody stole it all. We're sorry, and they deleted everything. So that's how you get wrecked. So just follow it, and you get nervous. Get nervous. The ShibVader dark paper is coming out by today or tomorrow. Well, that's going to be a good first step. A good first step would be to do that. So because people are not in a bloody market like this, 393 market cap, 393K market cap is probably a buy opportunity. So load up when it's at 21. They're shaking the tree hard. Yeah. Cult getting some serious buys, just had a $20,000 buy. Yeah, I think people are still going to be into it. Pixel, I am sitting on the sidelines for Pixel. They want too much money, period. Just absolutely no way. It doesn't matter if they have transaction taxes or not. Even at 0, they want 4,000 ETH. And I think it was something like 1,000 in the early pre-sale, private pre-sale, then 1,500 in a public like they have 3 different levels of we want money. So they do want they changed the 4,000 to 1,500, but they didn't change it. What they did was they turned it into 3 levels. They have like a private pre-sale of 1,000. Then they have like a whitelist pre-sale of 1,500, and then they have a public pre-sale of 1,500. So like that's 3,000. That's still 4,000. So it is not going to pump. I mean, basically that's what I'm saying. It's not going to pump, especially when when you put in. So you're looking at, even at this market, you're looking at about $9 million. They want $9 million in ETH, or they want $9 million in ETH in order to give you $9 million of their tokens. But they're wrapped, so they're going to be double the value. So 9 and 9 means it's going to start with an $18 million market cap. Now, is Pixel worth $18 million on a launch? Well, if it was 500,000 market cap, then it's worth 18 million on a launch, because then you're getting almost a 20x from your original investment, which is a good thing. But these guys don't feel like these guys want their money up front to do whatever it is that they're going to do, and that's just too much. It's too much. Investing in a lot of these tokens is it's a risk right now. Liquidity has been extended for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. All right. So the way you say Luffy bothers me. It's pronounced Luffy, like the U is long, Luffy. So it's going to be Luffy, right? That's what I said. Now I'm just messing with you. All right, I'll say Luffy. I don't care. Where do I think Volt will come down to? Volt's breaking all its support right now, and it doesn't really have much support to begin with. Like, guys, if you remember, we've had conversations about this. Like, this is the line of support right here. So it's at its support line. It should be bouncing upwards. If not, then it's going to come down here to about 90. And if not, then it's going to come down here, and it's going to be 80, 96. And not that we're going to be right back to the beginning, but, kind of. But we got to go through the process. I mean, you never know. Like, it could just start bouncing at a moment's notice. We're just waiting for some announcements, and that's what's going to move it. Apparently, Cougar has some tier 1 on the way because of its high volume. I don't know what CUKR. Oh, Cult. Yeah, you know what? Cult will probably have a decent exchange coming at some point. What's the daily volume here? Daily volume's around 2 million, so that's not enough for the bigger tier 1 exchanges, but it is significant enough for tier 1 exchanges. So yeah, that's definitely an opportunity. All right, so I don't know anything about it being Pablo as the one that sold. Like I don't know that he is or isn't the one that sold. Like I have no idea. Shib has big sells coming in, so Shib's getting wrecked too. Shib was already at 16. So I mean a lot of these we're just like picking on now we're just getting picked on at this point. You know what I mean? They were at 16. Yeah, I mean it's I mean all you can do is just sit back and whew, just be nervous. People are nervous. This market is not being kind right now. And I mean, not for nothing, but oh shit, ETH just bounced. Maybe we're seeing may not be seeing a correction, but we saw a bounce at least. So I mean, we'll see. My mindset is when all this stuff is happening is buy a bottle of wine, chill out, and let it ride. Ignore it for a little while. Now, Bobby Joe, don't let it ride in like I disagree a little bit. Like take most of it out and put it into stable and just let it sit. Like don't lose your value. Like for example, here's the thing. If I'm gonna give you an example here over just the last little while. If we know this market was coming, we didn't know how bad it was going to be, but let's say that we're invested in everything that we have right here. Terrarium, the up on Terrarium would have been 3 or 4 days ago. Let's just say it's 3 or 4 days ago. May the 4th, right here. So we could have got out at 23.26 and then stabled that first. We could have got out at 23, stabled it. Volt, maybe not that all-time high, but we could have got out right here around 2,300. Again, May 4th seems to be the day. So we could have got out at 2,300. Been looking pretty good. I don't want to use Phantom or anything else because some of those are pretty new. BTFA, again, May 4th. Where are we at May 4th? May 3rd, May 4th. Yeah, so if we got out on May 3rd, we'd have been up here and we would be up like, what is it, 200% from where we are right now? Holy shit. But as we go down this list, if you just stabled your tokens at that time when you were on that up, then guess what? You could have then bought back in on all these dips and enjoyed whatever was going on the way up. So, we don't play our dips right. When we don't play our dips right, then that's what we have to do is we have to let it ride. So best thing for us to do is when we see this market coming, recognize that the market is about to hit us and it's going to hit us in the face. And remember, GOAT tax probably 10%, Volt tax is 14% or 13%, Shiba Doge is 14%, WAGMI is about 9, I think, Terra is 7, CVC is 9, BTFA is 12, I think. We have a lot of taxes that we're paying on these tokens. So make sure that you recognize that. But you know what? Just take it out, let it ride. Just take it out and let it ride. Brad, what's going on, man? Everyone said Volt was a rug at the start. Those people got wrecked. Shiv Vader gonna moon. Yeah, I'm not saying good or bad about Shiv Vader, just that I'm not in it. Uh-oh. No name, thank you for the $10 bomb. I'm here as always just to preach Boxa. Boxa's content's coming out today, man. I did a deep dive on that and that Tullum event. Like I really wish I could go to that. Like 4 or 5 days away. And it's going to be in Tullum, Mexico. And that's by the way, there's a crypto event in 4 days in Tullum, Mexico, and Boxa Token is a sponsor. And Boxa just announced a partnership with, it's called Viva Live. Now it's through the Viva Entertainment Group, but it's called Viva Live TV. Viva Live TV is now going to be on 300 million Hisense televisions, and it'll use Boxa as a token for purchasing online so that you can buy events and stuff like that with your Boxa tokens. Like that's really cool and significant for a brand new token. So that's a great opportunity. And $760,000 market cap. So think about that for just a second. Like that's a significant sort of play if it plays out. Luffy, I said it right that time, right? Is a working version. Saitama minus the drama. Yeah, by the way, I did say that for Saitama, um, I think they should stop with Cytomask and Cytomask Pro, and I think they should just call it Cyta Pro. And I hope you guys agree. Like just get rid of Cytomask when you have the opportunity. Like just fuck it off. Like just go away with Cytomask and just do just do Cyta Pro, and that's the end of it. Well done. Cult is the best token you can have. By the way, guys, nothing that we cover here is a coin. They're all tokens. A coin is something that has its own blockchain or its own ecosystem. When we're wrapped with Ethereum, we're a token because we're a token on that chain. We're like a key on the keychain, and the coin is the actual keychain. So that's the way you can distinguish them, by the way. I did make content on that, by the way. So hope everybody watched it. Ugh, if you didn't, comment was clean. There are a few good projects in the space. Volt had the best community. I'm all in on Volt. Yeah, let's go look here. And yeah, did we figure out who 556E is? All right. Well, I don't know if it's Pablo or not. And if it is, I mean, he's allowed to take some profit. I would think that it's probably not. I would think that he would do. It doesn't strike me that this is going to be Pablo. Pablo would take something more like 10 or something like that. I don't imagine that he's going to take 125 at any given time. Like that's not his style. So it'll be an early investor, but I don't think it's gonna be Pablo. And I don't think Pablo's getting out at 1282. Pablo's getting out in that 3. Way up there. Right on, man. All right. Well, I don't know if that's I don't know what that's. Oh, new by the way, I have am I invested in Shift token? Yes, I am invested in Shift token. I had 2 purchases in Shift, no sales, and I'm waiting for that new token on the 16th. I've got new Shiba Doge content coming out. I don't know when they're going to do it. Might be released already. Shiba Doge. Oh, they already put it up about 5 hours ago. So we were talking about the burn token. You can now stake your NFTs. And there's an Elon Musk charity event that's coming pretty soon. So make sure that I get way more. By the way, go over there and view that if you're in here. By the way, just because I want to beat Classy Crypto on views. Because I like being able to use that against him. It makes me feel better. Just to mess with him. I put down a 1K and went up to 7 racks after the migration. It took a week and a half. I'm there to be a billionaire. Right on, man. That's exactly what everybody should be. I feel like, and it doesn't really matter like right now. Like, we're in a bloody market. There's going to be a lot of sales. There's going to be more sales than there is. There's going to be more sales than there is buy. Did I check out Theory? I did check out Theory in passing. Science DAO sounds like a great thing. I don't know how it makes money though. Like it didn't make sense to me. Like, Science DAO is like it's cool because you're talking about these different areas of focus, right? So how does it make money is what I don't understand. Like I can understand that, let's say medical. Okay, so we're working on some kind of technology, a gene technology, genetics. Here we go. It's to genetics. There's all these different things. There's all these different ways that you can do study, areas of study, or you can figure shit out, right? But how does it make money, and how is it a sustainable token in an ecosystem? So like it sounds great. I really like the fact that somebody's doing something like this. But at the end of the day, it says invest in science. How is science going to invest in me? So I got to read up on it before I can say that I like it. Not that not that I don't peddle shit coins all day long, but when it's my money, it's a little different. Like I'll throw it in on some of these, but in the end, it's the I want something with a use case. I just want a use case on it. So so what happened to Goat? Okay, so what happened to Goat? I got rug is there's 3 developers. One of them was a guy named Mike Laidley, and in the middle of the night, while the other 2 developers were asleep, he sold all of his tokens off and made a post. The post that he put out was just some crazy shit saying that he doesn't know, he's no longer going to be involved. He's going to do, he's not, what the shit was it that he said? Hold on 1 second. I'll find it here. He said, I am tendering my resignation effective immediately. I have had to act as a front man for this token while having had zero, I repeat, zero access to any wallets and have been provided zero traceability to accounts for any expenditures that have been made. I've been invited and included in zero meetings with the partners that have been disseminated. I effectively feel used for my credibility and connections. I have been operating on information and timelines the same as you all, with the only source of information being the aforementioned individuals. I do not and cannot continue to act as a face for this project while having zero control and effectively having my reputation on the line. So, fair enough. And he says, I feel incredibly disheartened by all of this, and I will be taking a long, perhaps forever, break from DeFi and crypto. Quite frankly, I feel I was grifted and sold a dream. Now, listen, this is where it gets interesting. I feel I was grifted and sold a dream. I believe other individuals have exploited that and used it to enrich themselves while hiding behind the scene. I hope in my heart of hearts for everyone, the partnership is real and exists, but until I finally receive proof, I cannot operate under these circumstances. I have received zero proof or evidence of a partnership and will not associate myself with these claims or these characters. Now, this is somebody who's, this is one of the 3 developers. So then what did he do? He sold off all of his stuff in like a few minutes. And I mean, like it's $1 million or something like that. So what he said basically was, I'm taking a break, perhaps forever, from DeFi and crypto. And that exactly, he got rich. Like this guy got all of his money, everything that he ever wanted to become a millionaire. He had the keys to the kingdom, so he cashed it out at that moment, became a millionaire, and took his ball and went home. That's exactly what happened. And it is allowed for anybody who, if you own the tokens, if you have the tokens, unless you're on some kind of vesting schedule which prohibits you from doing it, then you're able to do that. And that's exactly what he did. He took his ball and went home. So more power to him. Like, I don't like it, but let me rephrase that. I actually love it. I think that it's great that the guy was able to change his life. He now has $1 million or close to, I mean, it was, I think it was over $1 million. Like he was able to get a significant amount of money out of this. and cashed out, and he was gone with the wind. And it was his wallets, so he wasn't stealing. He just wrecked them because he's one of 3 people who had significant amounts of tokens. That's the worrisome part when you have a group that has a significant amount of tokens, is that everybody's not always going to be with you in that process. And, he felt like he was on the outside of a process, and that being the case, he took his ball and ran. So, I mean, if you're going to jump out with a parachute, you want the best parachute, right? So, his best parachute was to become a millionaire. Cardano's at 65 cents. Cardano at 65 cents still doesn't even sound like a deal for me at this point. Cardano has had zero pressure. All it's got is a lot of people who are fans. And at this point, there's no new people coming in. It's saturated the crypto market. There's no reason for it to pump. Like, it hasn't done anything to cause, and it's provided surprises along the way. It's done good things along the way. It just, there's nobody new is behind Cardano anymore. It's not exciting people like it used to. And you can see that because it continues to drop. Like, remember, it was just a few months ago that Cardano was the number 3 token in all of crypto. And now its market cap is an astoundingly low 22 billion. So just wait till exclusive gets released. Believes legit. Classy's my guy, man. He was on Saturday night, but I still want to beat him. Any hope on Phantom, you think? Yeah, so Phantom has Thursday. They have a big meeting. So, and Matt, by the way, they've reached out to me. So I think there's some stuff going on in the background. The message that I got, was pretty simple. They said, hey, we took the weekend off because it was Mother's Day weekend, and we're going to be going full bore on Monday. This was late last night. I got the message. So, and they got that meeting on Thursday. The meeting on Thursday, by the way, isn't going to change anything. Like, I don't think right away, because it's a partnership, and that partnership's going to take a little while to like manifest itself and turn itself into something big. So I will see how it goes. So I'm not sure yet, but I do think that it's a good start. Like, especially if it happens. Let's see if we got buy signals yet, because it looks like Ethereum is pumping just a little bit from where it was, and I don't have a buy signal on the 4-hour. Why does this thing hate me now? I don't know. So, God damn it. Duh. All right, now what do I do? Okay, so there we go. So we got a buy signal on the 1 hour for Ethereum right now. We have no buy signal on the 4-hour. We had a buy signal late on the second for daily, and right now we're just dipping. The last one came in at around minus. Come on, get out of my goddamn way. 73. So we're sitting right now at a negative 69.08. So maybe 73 is going to be the one. It's going to start pushing it back upwards. But you can see the candle being eaten right there. And there's a significant amount. So maybe, just maybe, we're in the process of a turnaround. That's what you want to see, is you want to see that big wick on the bottom to make it look like a popsicle. And the 15-minute also has a green one. So we got green buy signals on the 15-minute and the 1 hour, but not on the 4-hour and the daily yet. So we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Ethereum has the best utility out of all the new coins. Volt's not even close, although I like Volt. Yeah, Terrarium probably has the long term. I mean, Terrarium is going to be a centralized exchange, so it's got to have some kind of value, and it's going to have its own. It's going to have its own blockchain. Like, there's a lot to like about what Terrarium is doing. Obviously, BNB being the gold standard here, it's a 56 billion market cap with all those things working for itself. Chronos doing the same thing, $5.9 billion market cap right now. So then you go down here and you start looking. FTX is 4.4 for just a centralized exchange. So there's a lot of value here. Uniswap, basically it's a DeFi exchange, but it's $3 billion market cap. These big exchanges, they have big market caps. You get down here, you get KuCoin, $1.4 billion. There's Huobi is in here somewhere, 1.295 billion. There's another Huobi somewhere. It has 2 tokens, and they're both up here, I think. But I mean, there's a lot of it's got a lot of opportunity, and of course, we're looking at this thing right now at its worst. We're looking at 1.59 trillion market cap. Guys, 1.594 trillion market cap is something that we haven't seen since the middle of last year. So we're really looking at this downward pressure and this downward movement right now. Like, this is about as bad as it gets. Maybe it goes back down to 1.4, maybe 1.3, because that's where 1.273 trillion was the lowest of the low, I think. Maybe it was 1.211 at one point, but it was over $1 trillion, stayed over $1 trillion. So, maybe it'll be a little bit higher this time. But the bounce up is going to be significant, guys. Remember, when you look at the entire market, and Bitcoin is basically the entire market. So when we go back and we look at, let's call it a 1 year look, the run up for Bitcoin started in July when it hit 29.9. From there, it pumped all the way to 52 before coming back down, settling right in this area in September, and then it took off running again and ended up at the all-time highs. That's when we got it up to 67,000. But since then, it's been coming back down. Now, that line right there is where we're getting close to this time. Like, we're back down where we were. But what happened when it hit this line? When it hit this line and it hit 30,000, that's when the pump happened. So if we continue to see this, then we're going to see the same thing happen. Like, basically, when Bitcoin hits 30,000, it's probably start of the bull. It's going to be start of a bull cycle, and that bull cycle will be when this kind of shit right here happens, and it goes up just tremendously. I'm not buying shorts on Bitcoin right now. No. Dexter, if you had 50K right now, what would you invest in? If I had 50K right now, I would put it all into Ethereum, because Ethereum would let me buy stuff later. And Ethereum and the altcoins are going to run before the other coins run, or the other tokens run. So Ethereum will have its run up, and then all the other tokens will have their run up when it's altcoin season. So I would take my 50,000, put it into Ethereum, let it run to like 3,600, and then I'll have 75,000 to spread out amongst everything else. ApeCoin, you buy, and you think it will dip to the 7s. I don't think it's dipping to the 7s. I think it was about 1030. I mean, I think we're getting to the point where there's got to be a bounce upwards. So I feel like we're at the end of that bear pressure. Like, hopefully we're going to get that bounce up. But I don't know, man. Like you can start to see it when you look around the market. There's certain things like Volt's still dipping a little bit, but you're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround on a lot of these. So, but guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. It's work time now. So, guys, it's not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. I'm always right. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you again tonight. Tonight is going to be a Volt show, by the way. It'll be on Space Chicks. I'll be there guesting with Pablo Crow. Have a good night, guys.